All right, so we're going to be starting work soon, hopefully, but we do have a little obstacle. Now, Kent's been observing this while I was away, and the cab's got a few issues. It looks like the truck definitely had a hit, well, probably a big hit, wasn't it?
Decent size, yeah. Wrinkle it like that.
Yeah. So we got all these. The holes for the bolts and the door hinges have all been moved. And you said that somebody might have done this?
Yeah,
like fix this up?
Somebody's got inside the cab and beat that back out with a hammer and got it somewhat close to where it was, and then they put some sort of body filler or something over it to try to make it look good.
And as a result, the structural stuff, he's been affected as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a body guy come in and have a look to see if this can be fixed. And we're hoping that it can be fixed and they can do something with it. Otherwise, we'd have to look for a new cab, which is not going to be fun, because as I have learned that we need an AC cab. All the cabs are different. Not all the cabs are going to have AC, and I definitely want to put air in this. So, yeah. First bump on the road, right, Kent? Otherwise, it's been good so far.
Yeah, it's not been bad.
So yeah, we'll keep you informed before we start the next phase of work to see what we're going to do.
Straight. The lines look good. The body didn't look jinky going down the road. Nothing like that.
So they had cosmetically repaired it,
Right.
so that it would, I mean, until you peeled the onion back, you didn't know what you had.
Yeah, you didn't say nothing till you got
Okay.
into it.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah.
And the window worked good, no leaks.
Yeah. Window was good.
Okay.
Seat good. Nothing
Okay.
going on there.
Okay, so wow, it had been hit pretty hard, hadn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it took a pretty good lick.
Okay, that's no big deal.
It's just cosmetic, best I can tell.
So we can
just
fix
needs
it?
to be- It
We can
just
fix anything
There you
with
go.
enough time and money.
needs to be.
Glen from Garage Mahal, everybody. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear that we need to get a new cab.
No. Let's take a look at this front fender, the driver's left front fender. Is it over here in this?
Somewhere.
I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay, so this has been replaced. This has been replaced.
The whole fender has been replaced?
Yeah. Yeah, because there is absolutely
No damage.
no damage.
Yeah, there should. It
So
should have
they
came
must
out.
have had some shims and stuff behind this,
There
maybe.
was, there was a factory looking
Yeah,
shims.
yeah,
here
yeah,
and
body
there.
shims, and they used a different bolt hole. They had wallered out the bolt holes. So, because you can see the difference between
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
and this one. So,
Oh, yeah.
so not a big deal.
Okay.
It comes down to, Rana, how perfect do you want it to be,
Right.
other than looking perfect? Do you care that it has structural damage?
Well, my issue is I don't want the paint to look bad.
No.
It won't.
So I want the paint to be as smooth as possible.
It
You'll
won't.
never see that. That's
No.
behind the fender.
It's behind the fender as well.
Yeah, and so the things that I would address, if this were, I treat it like it was my truck. Something I was gonna use around the shop or go out and have fun with, not a Riddler truck, right?
No, it's not going to be a Riddler truck. Definitely not. Not this one, at least.
I would be concerned about the structural floor part.
Okay.
Road noise and vibrations, and you'll feel that in your feet when you're driving it.
Yeah, I don't
If
wanna
we
feel
don't
that.
Weld that up and put a good brace in there.
Okay.
So I would be concerned with that. I would probably be a little concerned with how did the hood work? Good? Did the hinges work fine? So they've had to pull this out a little bit, even though this is all crooked.
I think they did what they had to do
to get it to work.
but didn't do no more than that.
Yeah, see, we need to fix this. I would assume, you can see we got a big crack here between the side panel and the floor toe board. I would say we're gonna order, I would put a new floor toe board in this. You can buy these, not a big deal.
Okay.
Cut this out, beat this metal out, make it straight so that this toe board fits. You can see the seam down the firewall is all broken apart.
Yeah, we saw
So
that.
you're gonna get air and water and dust and noise. And it's something you're gonna drive and have fun with?
No, we don't want that.
That's no good.
No.
Who cares that this is dented? I don't
Because
care.
that's covered by the fender.
That's covered. We don't
Okay.
care. We care that the air vent access is good on the inside, and you know, body mount here. This has been repaired.
So the piece you're talking about, that's going to fix this side
Yep.
and the other inside as well.
Yep. This will fix all this at once. And once we'll order a new toe board, right?
Mm-hmm.
See where we can graft it, dissect it, cut it off, right? So we'll see how much we can get.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we cut that, where we find maybe along that seam or something, once we do that, we'll pound this dent out. Boom,
Okay.
boom, boom, which will bring this out a little bit too. It'll
Yeah.
help repair all that.
Because I want a very nice, clean firewall.
Okay.
Smooth,
Okay.
clean as possible.
Okay, so that's what we'll need to do. What about frame damage? Have you noticed any frame damage?
Never noticed any frame damage. He's welded some stuff on back in the back for the exhaust, but we're gonna cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna cut it off and then blast the frame.
Right. I don't see,
I didn't see.
handled well, drove
It
straight,
drove fine.
no
Brakes are-
dog legging.
Brakes are shit, but other than that, it drove perfect.
I don't see anything that's been cobbled up on the frame. I don't see any custom modifications.
No, pretty good. And I got 2 more frames. Well, no, mine's short beds. But I didn't see nothing that concerned me on the frame other than he's done a little welding back there on the exhaust.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
What were you feeling for there?
Huh?
What were you feeling for?
See if there was any braces, any splices in that frame. Sometimes people will cut a frame off and they'll plate it together on the back side. It seems to be one piece. So
Okay.
we'll look closer when we get it all apart. We want to make sure it hasn't been spliced. Or if it has been spliced, that it's been repaired correctly.
Okay. Should we lift it up for you?
If you want to, that'd be great. It's definitely been a side impact,
Yeah.
not a front end impact, which is good, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't, and it's got plenty of that rust preventative stuff called grease.
That's good then.
A lot of oil and grease has kept it from rusting.
Yeah.
Let's do pop it up in the air. I'd like to look at the actual cab mounts
Okay.
and make sure we don't have
But
any,
they all look pretty good.
nothing that's been cracked or,
I didn't see anything.
because that was a pretty good hit.
Yeah, you can tell.
And it's been a long time ago when that happened. That damage happened years ago. Everything looks pretty straight, doesn't it?
Yeah. Cab mounts look pretty good to me.
Let me get my trusty.
I ain't got real good lighting.
I got one right here. Everywhere I go, everything in the world's right here. Everything you ever needed: phone, lights, and every once in a while a phone call. Let's see here.
Did notice these sway bar mounts look like they've been jinked a little bit, but they're not bad. See how that?
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be like that.
No, I think they've been, both of them's been kind of jinked out a little bit.
Yep. So one of the things, yeah, this is all whopper jawed.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's been,
These are all replaceable.
yeah.
Um,
That is jinked just a little.
Lower core support mounts, right? Which, yeah, there was a lot of stress happened on this thing. Oh, sorry.
You're right.
You're the
It took
professional
a-
here.
took a
Yeah.
hit on the left front here.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be fun to say the least, everybody.
Okay. That's really weird that impact hit it that, because I don't see anything on the cross.
It's fascinating seeing these guys work, and I'm just trying to keep up.
Right? And I see no evidence of the frame has been pulled. You know, when they pull frames, a lot of times you'll see holes and things that weld pull tabs onto
Yeah.
to straighten it. I don't see any of that evidence.
No.
So if it drove fine,
It drove fine.
it'll drive fine when you're done.
The tires is new, but they don't look like they've got any kind of funky wear on them or nothing.
And I don't see any evidence of mechanical failure of the bushings or anything, right? They all need to be replaced.
Right.
But I don't see like they're out of alignment and it's chewed them up or...
And that's the stuff you wanted to have a look at, right, Glenn?
Yes, yeah.
The mechanical stuff you were talking about, this is
Yep.
it right here. Okay.
So if this had been under stress and it had been driving for a while, which this accident happened many years ago, these wear points would have worn unusually strong in one direction or the other. You'll chew up a set of A-arm, control arm bushings in a heartbeat if this is out of joint.
I think it was just sitting in the yard for many years.
So yeah, so it's good to see it full of oil and grease
Yeah.
because other things would give you a scary feeling of, uh-oh, what have we gotten ourselves into? No, I think you got a good donor,
Okay.
especially when 72s are so hard to find.
Yeah.
They are. They are.
And the good part is you can buy anything for this.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
They're such a popular truck, they've reproduced just about
Everything.
everything.
Yep.
Everything. So, gonna need a cab corner.
Yeah.
We'll need a cab corner.
This right here, you can buy these patch panel,
Oh, wow.
cut it out. It's a lot easier than trying to repair that rust.
It's just a little section that you cut it across right here,
Oh,
down here, and there's another one that goes right in there. You weld it right
a
back
cab
in.
corner. Okay.
Cab
You're gonna
corner.
learn all these fun things, aren't you?
I know, I'm just trying to keep up.
Good truck, Rana. You scored.
I scored. Oh, I'm excited. So where do we go from here? What is the next stage? What should me and Kent start doing so we don't interfere with the work that you're going to do? What work will you be doing?
I would say next step. Wow, look at the size of those pipes.
I know, it's huge.
They're additions. I mean,
My plan was to cut this exhaust off,
Yes.
drop the radiator, the
Core
drain
support.
the fluid, all that core support. Get ready to pull the cab off this thing where I got a rolling chassis I can roll out, start
Yep.
stripping it and blast it.
Blast it. That is next step. Is get the cab off of it and just blast it to death.
And just get everything in bare metal
Yep.
to bring to you. I was thinking I'd probably go ahead and paint frame for you.
Yeah.
It's not a big job.
Do you
It's
have
something
like
I
a
can
hydro
handle.
blaster or something to blast it all
Yeah.
apart? Okay. So yeah, once you get that thing cleaned up, immediately throw some epoxy primer
Right.
on it.
Yeah.
And some.
What about just some etching primer?
That's
Just
fine
something to
too.
protect
Yeah, just
it.
something to
a
protect
thin
it.
coat to coat it.
And then I use it's not DuPont anymore. See,
I wouldn't even know.
it's not DuPont anymore. Exalta's frame paint is by their lesser company called Nason's.
Okay.
And we use
Nason, yeah.
Nason's chassis black paint,
Yeah.
semi-gloss, looks factory. You can roll it on, brush it on, spray it on,
Yeah.
do anything. Get a gallon of it for like $100.
Okay.
Yeah, like we use Nason's a lot.
Yeah.
My boss's place. He's into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't so much, but it's my job, so. I'm not sure, but I think these have been cut for some reason or something's going on there. It's not major, but I don't think that's
Yeah.
original.
It
Both
is
of
not.
them's that way.
Yeah. Wonder why.
I don't know. I ain't been able to figure out what was going on there.
Huh.
At some point, it looks like they just cut the top of that off for some reason. It wouldn't be nothing to put that back together.
Expert at 72 C10s. We've done several, but little things like this, people have modified things over the years.
So that's not how it's supposed to be.
See this notch that's going out of it right
Oh,
here?
yeah.
That hole right there?
Yeah.
Same thing over here, but a little bit bigger. That's been cut out for some reason or another right there. And I ain't figured out why they did that.
It had nothing to do with this custom exhaust that they've put in.
Possibly, I don't think so, but there's no telling. That's definitely custom.
You know,
But it sounds good, like when we turned it on. It definitely sounds good.
good. One of the recommendations, since this is a new experience,
Yep.
right? I'd invest $30 in a Chevrolet General Motors assembly manual.
I've already got that.
I done told him.
I'm ahead of these guys in some things. I've already got the manual.
Okay, so you can look up rear suspension in the manual and it'll have a picture of that.
Oh,
What
okay.
is supposed to be there, is that what it's supposed to, it doesn't look right to me, but again, I'm not a super duper expert.
I think I
on
might
that.
actually have that in the car. I might bring it
I
out.
got two frames up there.
Yeah, that doesn't look, something's been
And
cut
you
off.
can see this one's bigger.
Yeah, something's been
than
cut
this
off.
one's. That's been torched out for some reason.
Yeah.
If only the truck could talk and tell us exactly what it's been through.
Is that supposed to be bent?
I don't think so.
Huh. Might have a couple of opportunities. These things are filled with opportunities, Rana. That's what we
Okay.
call them. They're not problems.
Opportunity.
They're opportunities.
Okay, what's a hitch?
Bumper hitch. Like on the back of modern trucks, you see the
A
receiver.
drop hitch.
Yeah.
That's not in your bumper, but.
Yeah, it's underneath, called a receiver hitch.
Yeah. that's
It's
what
had
it
one
is.
on there. See these two?
Is that what it
brackets?
gets towed with?
Yeah, no, that's what you tow your trailer with.
Okay.
And it would have been below the bumper. You see them on all the
your
pickup
Yeah.
trucks.
trucks
You look at the back
So
of the
they
truck,
took
it's
that
a
off.
square.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just take that off
receiver.
and put that finished bumper on it.
Yeah.
I see,
Yeah,
okay.
so, but it's no big deal.
No.
But it gives you kind of, this is all kind of we're doing forensic, kind of like CSI, right?
Yeah.
You want to learn as much as you can about the truck, because then you get a feel for where it's been, what it's done, and what do I need to look out for. You know, if I know something has been used as a tow truck,
Yes.
I'm going to be concerned with rear end gears and U-joints and transmissions. And that's may have how it started its life, but we don't know what they've done to modify it, to fix it. But there's things like that that we'll want to check the backlash and stuff on the pinion and make sure that there's no excessive wear. Now it does have some of them really super cool duty Monroe-matic air shocks.
Yeah.
And that's not factory either.
No. That's 1980 right there. Got to have me some air shocks. I wonder, I'm just starting wondering now. I'm doing my CSI work, right? I don't see any big leaks out of the wheel cylinders. I just had a rear seal in the transmission leaking, which has kept it good and lubricated.
Yeah. Kept it from rusting.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So the fabulous news today is that we don't need to get another cab.
Heck no.
There we go, Kent.
Yeah, that's good. That would have been a hard find.
Yeah. See, the corner cab on this side needs to be replaced as well, from what I can see.
I would say
Let's
both.
look. I'd say both of them probably do.
Both rockers too.
They probably, yeah. There's I guarantee on the inside and the back of your cab, there's a rat's nest sitting there.
There was. We found a possum.
There was a dead possum in there. Ron about had a heart attack. I can say that.
No.
That was not a good time because I was scratching it. I was touching it the whole time. Like, what is this?
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, did that get on film?
No,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, my scream is on film, but the camera angle should have seen it. But yeah, I was full scratching it.
So-
And only when I saw the head, we realized.
See this?
Yeah.
That's what that side's supposed to look like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The other side's pretty rough.
Yep. Oh yeah, exactly. But it's so cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Condenser's been around more than a day,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
Did the air work?
I never tried it. Did he
I
say
don't
the
think
air
it would
worked?
have. I don't think it would have.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Well, we need some brakes.
Yeah.
Yes. I still drove it, and yeah, the brakes were not that
Huh.
good at all.
Piece of cake. So when you take the radiator off and all that stuff and this core support, you're going to have to saw these off. More than likely, they're not going to come off these
Yeah.
mounts.
We've had to cut off quite a few folks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a note. If I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of different kinds of core support mounts. I know on a Ford there's a couple of questionable things, but just take a good picture, and that way if there's an option, oh, do we need A or do we need B?
Yeah.
Right? You got a picture of it, and you can say, oh,
Before we take it
ours
out.
look like A.
Okay. Yep.
You cannot take too many pictures.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I've learned the hard way.
Yep.
Man, if I just had a picture, I'd know how that thing went on.
There's the tip right there. Take as many pictures as you can during the restoration early stages.
Yep, as you blow it apart so
Yep.
you know what it looked like before, you can put it back.
Yep.
Especially on something that's been in an accident and it looked really good. You didn't know the damage was there, so it had cosmetic repairs, and that helps you to put it back together and have it look right. And no, one fender doesn't lean down while the other fender
I should
leans
start
up.
taking some snaps, Ken, shouldn't I? Especially when it's at this stage.
I think you're doing a great job.
Ken's doing a lot of the work. I'm yapping a lot.
You are.
I can take stuff apart.
You're not going to though. You're not going to. That's the thing. So I've told him,
Apart.
I said, do not do too much work, especially when I'm not here. And even the little paint, you know, you said you could do it. It's not a big job. And that's great. It's for me. I basically want to have my hand on every single part of this.
Good.
So when people ask me questions, I can at least answer them.
Absolutely.
Though I still will have you on speed dial. Ken, what do we do here?
We're lucky we have a friend who has a nice shop with a lift in it.
Yes, we do. Very lucky with Kent here with his shop. And now we've got Glen in the picture as well from Garage Mahal, which is not very far. Right
Just
here.
down the road.
Just down the road.
See how God works?
I swear. That's what I said, you're not far at all, so this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken's great at taking everything apart. So what does that exactly mean, Ken? You're not going to be able to put it back together because our piles are growing.
I can really take stuff apart.
It comes apart really fast.
Just
Going
don't go back
is-
together
Yeah, it
too
doesn't go
quick.
back together that fast.
Got to get the book out and do a little research.
Because when I was looking at this, I was like, we've done so much. We've taken apart so many things.
Yeah, we have.
But the big work is
Ooh.
when putting it back together. What is that?
You're gonna need a new steering box. I can move that about a quarter of a turn and there isn't anything moving down here. So steering box.
That's a steering box. Okay.
Yes.
And you shouldn't be. And when you turn
This
it,
should move.
that should move. Okay.
Yep. Yep. That's called a pitman arm. Oops, doesn't move.
Do they make?
You're just
a-
not strong
do
enough,
they
Glenn.
make
What
one
happened
that's-
here?
Do they make one that's more aggressive?
Yep, they
You
sure
probably
do.
want one of them anyway.
Yeah,
Get you more
it has a
modern-
closer gear ratio, so
Your
instead of
steering's-
the old days of turning it 4 times, you only have to turn it 2 times.
Right.
Yes. No.
Be
That.
more modern.
Okay.
And a company called
Today's-
Borgeson makes those.
Okay.
For the Chevrolet cars, it's called a Borgeson 500 box.
Okay.
I don't know what they're called for the pickups. We can call Wendy. She orders all of our parts.
Okay.
Most of this stuff you need to replace. You want to replace anyway with your more modern stuff.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah,
brakes,
100%.
all that, everything.
I like the shell of the classic, but definitely we want to have it as modern as possible with the inside and under the hood as well.
And things like the front suspension comes as a kit. You
Yep.
just get a front suspension rebuild kit. It'll be ball joints, tie rod ends,
And they come with
control
all
arm
the
bushings,
hardware,
everything.
everything like
Yeah,
Yeah, all this stuff.
all that stuff will be new.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
And you want to have this done next week?
Yeah, definitely.
That's how my customers are. Oh, that doesn't sound like much work. When will that be done? A year and a half from now is when that
Oh,
will be
don't
done.
say that, Glenn. You're not going to do this in a year and a half. It's going to be a lot sooner than that.